morning. My name is Michelle. I am an occupational therapy student with the University of Mary in Billings, and today we are going to be practicing demonstrating manual muscle testing, specifically for plantar flexion. So my pretend patient today is Taya. She's a 14-year-old female. She loves running. She's very active, and we're going to pretend that she hurt her ankle while running the other day. So, and Taya, in occupational therapy, we will test how strong your ankle works in plantar flexion. What that means is that it's pointing your toes, okay? And it's also when you raise up onto your tiptoes, you use plantar flexion, okay? So the muscles that are involved in plantar flexion are your calf muscles. So those are your gastrocnemius and your soleus. They actually connect to your Achilles tendon down here. We know how tender that can be sometimes. They connect to your Achilles tendon, and so if you've got any problems with those two muscles or the Achilles, can often get damaged or inflamed. You can get some tendonitis, pain in those areas. There's a lot of other things that can affect your ability to plantar flex or to go up onto your toes. There's lots of muscles and joints and tendons that go from the leg down into the foot, and so any of those could get inflamed, damaged. You twist your ankle, you sprain your ankle. In a lot of different ways, it could still make that motion painful, but specifically today we'll look at those two muscles we talked about. So the way we test this in manual muscle testing is we're going to pretend like her left foot is the one affected. And so she stands against the wall without leaning on the wall, but just for a little bit of balancing her hand there. She can lift up her opposite leg so that it's not touching the ground. So lift up your right leg, okay? And then ask, are you able to raise up onto your tiptoes? No, that hurts. Okay. So that would mean that she is less than a grade 3, okay? So to be a grade 3, 4, or 5, she would have to be able to do a number of repetitions of going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then that would give her a rating of a 3, 4, or 5. Being able to go up one time would be a 3, so she can't even do it, so she's less than a 3. All right, I will ask you to lay down on the mat on your tummy. Okay. So now she doesn't have any resistance from the weight of her body, and so then I would ask, can you go ahead and point your toe? Great. Okay. So she can point her toes. So you can go ahead and relax. So without resistance from her body weight or from me holding on to it, she can point her toes. So she would be at a grade of a 2. If she tried to point her toes, and I was feeling right here, she tried to point her toes, and I could feel a contraction, but she couldn't point.
You can't see her pointing.
She would be at a 1. And if she tried to point, she could not point, but I could not feel any contractions, she would be at a 0. So you can go ahead and turn over, and we can talk a little bit.
You can't tell if she's pointing.
So we range manual muscle testing on a range of 0 to 5. 5 being your muscles are in their best condition, best strength, okay? So you grade at a level 2. So there's a few things that we can work on in therapy to get that ankle working again and to get it stronger. And so we'll do that over the next few weeks. So some of the things, the occupations that might be affected, we already talked about running. So she loves running. She would probably not be able to run for quite a while. Any kind of walking would be difficult. So somebody with limited ability to plantar flex would have trouble with any kind of walking. They would most likely limp. They would keep their ankle and they would not point their toes. So they would keep their foot upward a bit, and they would limp as they walk, putting more weight on the opposite foot. would be the biggest thing that they would do to substitute. So it would really affect most all occupations, especially like walking around your house, getting up and down out of bed, maneuvering around in the bathroom. Any of those things would be affected by a reduced plantar flexion. So thank you.